edition rock and roll.
Hey everybody, it's the Chase Carter Concept Podcast for July 5th. The one person that noticed, I have people to help me. Normally I release on Friday, but a lot of things happened on Friday. I ordered this little chicken, rice, and bean bowl from Chipotle, and it was good. It was really good. So I was busy doing that, and then there was I'm not too sure. I was trying to decide if I could vote for the 2024 election early. I can't do that. I can't. Tried. Didn't work out. But yeah, they've just been hanging out, doing lots of important things. That's why I couldn't go Friday. And then I was going to do it Saturday. And then what happened said, I had to drive my girlfriend to the airport. So that took, 30, 45 minutes. Sunday, 4th of July. Yeah, I went to In-N-Out last night. Oh, and this is something that's, I don't understand. Okay, with all of the different forms of entertainment we have in society, okay, for $9 a month, I have endless Netflix. I can go on Amazon Prime. I could go, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, all of the pluses. First of all, if you're a streaming provider, stop saying plus, because we don't already have a thing for you. A plus indicates that you already have a service with them. Like if you have ESPN Plus, that makes sense because you have the ESPN channel. And then if you want all of their online content, then you have to sign up for ESPN Plus. That makes sense. What doesn't make sense is Disney Plus. Disney does have a channel, doesn't it? I just thought of it. Okay, never mind. Paramount has a shit. But then does the Disney Plus and Paramount Plus become the channel? Like how many people turn on cable and put on the Disney Channel anymore? And you have to wait for your show. Why not just order Disney? I don't know what you would call it then. I think Disney. I think I'm back around to Disney Plus is a good idea. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Disney Plus is a good idea. I like that idea because I don't know what else you would call it. Disney Online, Disney On Demand, DOD, Disney On Demand. I don't know. Disney subscription, Disney S, Disney subscribe, Disney all the time, Disney 24/7, Disney 360, 365, Disney Ultra, Disney Supreme, Disney, I don't know. Not too sure. Or just have it called like the mouse ears, Mickey ears, or just call it Mickey. No, you want the Disney name in there, because then Mickey becomes better than Disney. You don't want that. You don't want that. The ears. Oh, the ears would be a good little, small app that not too many people know about. It gives you a secret map of Disneyland called the Ears. If you want to see cool. I wonder why they don't have, or at least it doesn't seem, how on Jurassic Park, the ride, they have some hidden things. They have like the Dennis Nedry shaving cream can like in the bushes, and you have to kind of know that it's not prevalent, doesn't pop out at you. I wonder if Disneyland has those things from certain movies, like say they have a shoe from a character, laying around, like if they have like the Cinderella slipper, but it's just in some innocuous place. That'd be cool. That you can see. So you don't want the animals. You don't want these animals to, some fat bitch to come up and put their foot And the slipper doesn't fit. We know it doesn't fit. We know. We got the idea. Oh, I'm going to find my prince one day. We don't, people taking pictures. You don't want that. But just up on like a shelf. Up on a shelf somewhere. Maybe have Geppetto like pieces of dolls or whatever, or like his tool set, something along those lines, laying around. People will be, oh, that's that. Oh, that's over from over there. Be kind of cool, I think. Anyway, I don't know. Just an idea. Just an idea. Like the magic carpet from Aladdin is just it's like drying on a clothesline somewhere. And you're like, oh, is that? Oh, that's the magic carpet from. It'd be, and then sometimes it's in another place, like it moves. They move it to certain different places, like it's traveling. Oh, it'd be so cool. Just little things like that, and it'll be a like a scavenger hunt, and it could be like for a week. Like, oh, first person to find this gets free tickets next time or whatever. That would be cool. But then the people at the park, I don't know. Did Disneyland employees um, get free admission? Because then the Disneyland employees would have to put it up, and then they would tell their friends about it. And you have to keep it real hush hush. You have to get one secretive person who really likes it to do it and likes to keep a secret, enjoys it. So you can't get a woman because they talk too much. They're like, girl, you'd never guess it's hid where I hid uh Geppetto's hammer. Where'd you hide it? You're like, you get but then you'd have to make more. It'd be an app. It'd be an app, a Disney app. I always wondered why they didn't have apps in line to where you're playing a game, and then if you win the game, you get to go to the front of the line. That would be awesome. I don't understand why they don't do that. It would make the waiting in line experience addictive. You would love to do it. Oh, it'd be so cool. Oh, the line this app number, like when you win something, you're in some kind of competitive game, right? You're in some kind of competitive game. And then as it evolves, each line could have their own game. Like wait in line at Jurassic Park could have their own game. If you wait in line for, say, like an Indiana Jones ride, it has its own game. Have it be like Indiana Jones, a racing game where you're collecting artifacts as you go, like an endless runner kind of game where you're collecting artifacts. Every, say, 5 minutes, this game starts. And you're doing this endless runner, and the person who's finishes last, dies last, who actually wins, makes it the furthest, gets to go to the front of the line. And then the Jurassic Park, same kind of thing, but you're surviving dinosaurs. You're getting through dinosaurs. You're saving people. I know there's a sick triceratops over here. Tranquilize them, heal them. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Let's see what other stupid things I can do. Batman, saving lives. So real quick, you got to get through the city. I don't know how you would say like a beat 'em up brawler, and they just throw waves of enemies at you, and you have to beat them up until you die. Last Batman standing wins. If I actually sat down and thought about these ideas, I'm sure I can come up with good ones, better ones. Or maybe I can't. Maybe I couldn't. There's also that aspect. So, what was I talking about? Well, there was something. Oh, yeah, movies. And okay, so I go to In-N-Out. Hadn't been there in a while, and by a while I mean 2 weeks. Go to In-N-Out. It was probably the best set of French fries I've had at In-N-Out in a long time. And nobody's wearing masks, so that's wonderful. I can get my own drink. I can make my own Arnold Palmer exactly the way I like it, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm going to start going out more before they shut this whole place down again. Well, smaller than 1% of people are getting sick and dying. Why are they dying? because they're fat and they don't have they don't take vitamins and they don't eat well and they don't take care of themselves. Is that all, like everybody? No, but there's also people with comorbidities that are susceptible to viruses, and we have to protect them. We should shut the whole place down because of a very, 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 very small. Yes, yes. Well, the hospitals, we have to slow the spread down so the hospitals can catch up. We're only going to be shut down for 2.5 weeks, a year and a half later. Um, Fascinating. It's fascinating what kind of mental damage is going to be done. Of course, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Pretty interesting. But and then what was the line? The line. Oh yeah. So I go to In-N-Out. Things are going good. It's nice to sit down at In-N-Out, eat a burger, listen to a podcast. Oh, and then someone sits down. Okay, so I'm one person. So I sit down in the corner seat. The bar stools are taken. I sit down in the corner spot where it's just a 2-person table because I don't want to take up a 4-seater, right? And then these fucking children animals, these wild beasts, and they're all fat. I don't know what it is about fat people that are just unkept. They're dirty. They're all wearing pajamas. Okay. And their life has to be uncomfortable, so comfortable that it makes everybody else uncomfortable. They didn't get dressed, looking like slobs. And I don't understand. And they're children, so they don't know any better, right? Their parents, nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. And in fact, I think it was the older, probably 12-year-old that was running things. She pointed out to like the 4 or 5 other kids, you're going to sit there, you're going to sit there, you're going to sit there. And I had one kid the table over. And if you've been In-N-Out, the separation from each table is about like your hips. So it's pretty close. Maybe like double hips. Hip and a half. I wear a 32 size waist, very slender. But I just don't, I didn't want these rambunctious, if it was a kid, with, some sense, some mental, like a good mental capacity, some manners, that was raised right, taught to fear strangers. But this kid just walked right up, sat right down, basically right next to me. I could have been a murderer, kid. You have to be kind of wary of strangers. This kid, no, he's pretty secure, pretty secure in himself. Just sat right down, wheezing, sweating. You know how cold it is in In-N-Out. He's sweating inside and what were you doing before you came in here? You weren't jogging, that's for sure. Was it the walk from the car up here that got y'all? And where are your parents? Who ordered for you? Why are you? You need to not be. This is In-N-Out. This is bad food. I swear to, if you're a kid and you're fat, please get new parents. Get new parents. The reason people, okay, I think this is the reason, is because parents who grew up, say like my grandmother, and they went through the Great Depression. They lived on a farm there, and so if they had the weather was bad, they wouldn't eat. So whenever they had food, they had to eat it all, and they're like, "You better eat all on the plate." And then they taught their kids that, and then so on and so forth. And now we have so much food that we're so far removed from that generation. You don't need to eat everything on your plate. You don't. Because in 4 or 5 hours, you're going to eat again. Now, see, my grandmother's generation, 4 or 5 hours turned into a day or two, and you wouldn't always eat every day. So there's that. So you have to realize, hey, we're not in the same era, we're not in the same generation. You're going to get 1 scoop of rice, 1 scoop of broccoli, and a little piece of meat. You're hungry again? Okay, well, you can eat more of this, or you can eat nothing. I want ice cream and cake. No, you're gonna eat what you want. You're gonna eat, what not what you want. You're not gonna eat what you want. You're gonna eat what we have. Okay, and if I see you getting a little bit fat because that's unhealthy, you should love people for who they are. Not if so you're a murderer. If you're a murderer, we're supposed to love you and cherish you. Rapist, child molester. You're not love beautiful the way I am. No. Fix yourself. You're not happy. You're clammy all the time. Quit it. Just get up. Get up from a chair. My mom lost weight. She said she had health issues and so she lost weight. I don't know. She's being very secretive. Either she's going on some kind of diet, got gastro bypass surgery. I don't know what she's doing. She's keeping secrets. She likes to talk about everything else except for her own personal health concerns. Might be a cry for attention. I'm not too sure. But if it's a game, I'm not playing the game, lady. I'm not playing it. But yeah, so at In-N-Out, this is a long-winded story. I know. But so go to In-N-Out, have a wonderful time. And then I see a few movies that I would like to see that are like, hey, I haven't been to a movie theater in a while. I'm going to go see this. And then speaking of movies, I watched War of Tomorrow with Chris Pratt. It's on Amazon Prime. Not going to spoil anything. Good movie. I would recommend it. Fun. Honey Boy with Shia LaBeouf. That's a good movie. And that one, I'll tell you a little. That's about a child, basically his father, like a childhood star, and then their crazy abusive father. How it affects them, and it was good. It was good. And then I started to watch this Amazon Prime movie called Encounter, and I got 15 minutes into it, and it was so bad. The acting was so bad. I've rarely ever turned a movie off because it was so bad. Terrible. I did not like it, and I will ruin the shit out of this. None of the characters were set up at all. The way we got introduced to the characters, and there was another movie, Good on Paper, with a stand-up comedian, Eliza Schlushinger. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. And I like her, and I've heard that story. She tells a story about a guy who faked being a Harvard graduate and was like her good friend for years, and then they started dating, a boyfriend, and then come to find out he lied to her about everything. Which is really actual fascinating story that she told on Joe Rogan's podcast. And I'm listening to him like, holy, really? That happened to you? That would be a crazy movie. She made the movie, and then the actor, for some reason, the guy actor, I'm gonna finish watching it, but I watched the first 30 minutes of it and I forget why I stopped watching it. I gave it 30, 45 minutes and it just wasn't that funny. I thought it'd be more funny, but it's maybe not supposed to be a funny movie. And she's a stand-up comic in the movie. But just kind of, I don't know. There's something about, and I like her. So I wonder what about the movie. Maybe it's just timing. Maybe if I watch it again tonight, I'll like it. I don't know. But it was a Steven Spielberg 20 thumbs up compared to Encounter. I think that's what the movie's name was. It has like I wanted to watch an alien movie because of the Tomorrow War, and I'm like, oh, that's a good alien movie, so I'm gonna go see it. Then now I in alien movies, so I want to go watch another one. So terrible. This thing, there's three guys in around a truck, and they're all talking, and they're talking shit to one another, but it's not in a fun way. It's like a I don't like you kind of way. And so like if these three guys, it seems like they're stuck together and they have no other people in the small town they're from um, that are around their same age and drink. They all three of them, I think, don't have wives or have some problem with the wives. There's the typical guy. He's like, yeah, Julie left me. Why'd Julie leave me? Well, she found out about Rhonda. And it's like, oh, this is this 1990? What are we doing right now? Could you make a compelling, an interesting character before? And the acting is terrible, terrible. And then one of the friends has I think, a brother or a brother-in-law who is in a wheelchair, who's depressed, who's like painting, I think, pictures of and I think they have, it's not a dead wife, but I didn't get that far in the movie, but I think it's a dead child. The child died. And the father is in the garage in a wheelchair painting the dead child. And then out of the three friends that were in the pickup truck drinking, there's two white guys and a black guy. And then the black guy has a problem with the guy in the wheelchair. He's like, he needs to get, he always moping around painting pictures. And you're like, where is this anger coming from? Perhaps later in the movie you find out, but this is a really interesting um, take right now. Guy, I don't know why you're mad at a guy, a man in a wheelchair. Why are you mad at this person in a wheelchair who I think lost his daughter? Which you don't know because you just see her painting like a face, him painting a face, and it's a young girl. It's like it's a young version of her. But I'm like, wait, did you lose your wife, or did you lose like you're painting childlike portraits of your dead wife? And it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear. It's just some hot, depressed guy in a basement that women will love to fix, and maybe that's the appeal. And since I'm not a gay man or a straight woman, I'm not too sure. But I'm just sitting here like, why is this? And then this thing falls out of the sky. It's really hot because it comes from outer space. So all this heat's coming off this. It looks like a rock. And then they get the beer. Listen, they get, oh God, it's so dumb. I mean, this thing is on fire. They can't get too close to it because it's, really hot. They can't touch it. So they get you just like, oh, what do they get? Do they some kind of like liquid nitrogen? What are they? They get the ice from the beer, um, the ice box. That's what they get. They pour it on it. Then this thing screams, and they're like, what is that? Is this some kind of satellite? And they have to cover their ears because the noise is so loud. I'm like, what in the world? If you pour ice on it, does it scream? Just so stupid, so stupid. And then that cuts to the depressed guy in the garage. Then the lights turn on, garage door opens. They brought this thing back. This what you thought was a rock, a screaming rock. They put this thing on the table. They're like, what should we do? Should we call the police? No, that's a stupid idea. Okay. I mean, we can get something for this, you think? The guy didn't have the accent, but it was so dumb. And then the acting was from 0 to 100. They were either really calm or just it was as if someone made a TikTok or a YouTube movie where all those crazy reactions. It's either like you're talking normal or you're having some kind of animated, exaggerated reaction because 3-year-old, all your whole audience is 3-year-old, and the only thing they can comprehend is crazy, exaggerated mannerisms. So the guy in a wheelchair, they have to watch it. There's like, we like, I'll take first. We have to keep an eye on this thing. I'll take first watch. And then the guy in the wheelchair and the black guy, they have a little disagreement. Like, oh, I'll go first watch. I'll first watch. I'll first watch. And then the black guy insults the guy in a wheelchair. She's like, oh, you can't like get your life together, and we're gonna trust you to watch this thing. It's like, dude, where you come? Was this your daughter that died? The woman he painted was a white, blue-eyed, blonde-haired girl. Pretty sure it wasn't your daughter. So why are you so angry right now? I don't know. I don't get it. But now I want to watch the whole thing just to find out about those people's relationships. And they don't even explain it. And I'm just like, oh, you made me watch the whole thing. So this the guy in a wheelchair is sitting like in this dark room. He's a painter, so he sketched out what this rock thing looks like, and it looks like it has scales on it. Then all of a sudden, he shines a light on it, and it starts to pulse like this red, kind of green, glowy light, kind of starts moving around inside of it. He's like, ah, that's weird. And then there's a piece of metal or a magnet on the table, and it gets sucked to this thing, and he can't remove it. It's like, holy shit! And then all of a sudden, everything in the room, a lot of small objects, metal small objects, get sucked into it. Not into it, but on top of the shell. And so he's like, holy crap. And then he still has his wedding ring on. So his hand gets stuck to the thing. So he has to take his wedding ring off. Then everything falls off. And the wedding ring rolls on the ground. So he rolls over to the wedding ring, and he's like kind of trying to lean over to grab it. Then the shell thing behind him starts to open up. And maybe I'm making this sound cooler than it is. It wasn't cool at all. Starts to open up, and then this tentacle comes out and just hits him right in his neck, right in the back of his neck. And then he starts seeing all this different stuff. He starts seeing, I think, his dead wife or some woman, because we don't know. We don't know who she is. That doesn't really explain it too well. Maybe I wasn't listening. That's a possibility. So, and then what happens is he starts to like get up, and then his family hears the commotion. They come in like, what the hell? And they see this alien thing attached to his neck, and he starts to get up. His limbs start to move, so he's basically fixed. And then the brother, I think his brother, grabs the tentacle and pulls it out of him. And then he goes back to being a paraplegic. His legs stop working. They helped him up they help him into the house. It's like, we got to get rid of that thing. What happened? And then this is where I start turning it off. This is where I turned it off. Is the friends from the truck start to, they're like, the guy in the wheelchair wants to go back in there because his legs worked. He wants that feeling again. So he's like, no, it was helping me. It was helping me. You don't understand what it was doing. All crazy exaggerated. And then the friends start arguing, what if this isn't really, Jeb or whatever the fuck this guy's name is? Maybe the alien transplanted himself in there and he wants us to think that. Then the guy in the wheelchair goes, what do you mean? That's ridiculous. I'm me. He's like, that's exactly what an alien would say. I'm like, are we doing this right now? Are we doing this right now? This is not what would be said 2 seconds after it. He'd be like, what did you see? What happened? You would be asking that guy questions. You wouldn't be accusing him of being an alien, especially not right in front of him. That would happen in private. Like, hey, do we really think Chris is still Chris? Do we really think that? Is he acting any different? What is actually going on? Yeah, until a space alien comes bursting out your neck. That's what he said. I'm like, huh? We don't know what happened. All we know is that this little, it looked like the green shell, like the dark green shell from Mario. Or yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like a dark shell. It looked like a gothic version of the green shell from Mario Kart that opened up and had this tentacle come out of it. It's fascinating. And the fact that you would grab it, I would have thought you would grab an axe and cut the thing off. But probably they can't do that because the movie needs them to, the thing to come out again later. It's like, well, what if Chris is an alien and he's gonna take us over and invade us and infect us? I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, dude! What is going? If the alien became somebody, it wouldn't. First of all, if it was someone who's handicapped, they would fix them so they can walk around and take over the world. You severely limit, unless you're going to do it real stealth-like. Maybe you take over the world, you do it, you take over every handicapped person's ability, and then, the meek shall inherit the earth becomes true. Not too sure. But it was, so annoying. Now I got to go back and watch it. But what was it? So anyway, I'm at In-N-Out. I eat it in In-N-Out. Fat kids annoy me. Hey, I want to go see a movie. There's Fast 9 on there. Part of me doesn't want to go see it. because of John Cena and I'm sorry, very, mushing chow, very, very sorry. Um, I want to apologize to the Chinese people. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was tired. What are you sorry for, John? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Why are you apologizing for saying, oh, because you admitted, oh, okay, got it. Which is real weird. You're protecting your pocketbook over just, human rights. Okay, cool. Got it. Nice enough. So I don't want to put any money to them at all. But I'm like, if it's $10, I'll go see it, or I'll buy a ticket to another movie and sneak in to Fast Nine. One of those two. So I look at movie tickets. There's Conjuring 3 was up there. There was Boss Baby. There was another movie. I can't remember. Oh, The Quiet Place 2. Okay, I'll go see that. I'll go see that. So Quiet Place 2, it started at 10. It was like 10:05, 10:10. I was like, I can still make it. Because the movies never start when they're supposed to. They start 20 minutes after the start time. Which annoys me. Play the previews 20 minutes before the goddamn movie's supposed to start. 10 o'clock. Movie starts at 10. Be there at 10. Jesus. The movie's an hour and a half. It's an hour and 50 because of the damn trailers. I don't want to see those long of trailers. Show me who's in the movie. Tell me the title of the movie. Have the trailer show me a little bit about the story. A little bit. Not the whole thing. You watch these. I go back and watch Marvel trailers. That the whole damn movie's in there. The whole movie is in these things. I don't understand. It's like a threat from outer space. Just have that. Ant-Man goes into vacations in the quantum realm. And then you're like, ooh, that sounds fun. Let's see that. Can shrink to the size of an atom or grow to the size of a, I don't think there really is anything that size. Grow to the size of a brachiosaurus. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Just a real quick splash screen. Ant-Man. Show Paul Rudd making a joke to his little daughter. I'll go see it. You got our money, Marvel. We don't need to be sold on it anymore. Stop showing the entire movie in a 3-minute trailer. Have the movie, if the movie trailer should be a minute, 45 seconds max. Stop it. Anyway, so I go to buy a movie ticket for The Quiet Place, and there's nobody there. There is nobody there at the ticket taker. So I'm like, because of COVID, and they want to personal contact. I understand they want to, but then everyone is touching the goddamn screen, those touch screens. So you're making it worse. I don't understand. So I don't want to cough all over a person and cough all over an air. Well, let's just remove the one person and then have someone that nobody's cleaning that thing. And the touchscreen never works properly. Like, this is what you guys invest in, this thing? So to have it be voice activated. One movie ticket, A Quiet Place 2, 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Real simple. Don't understand. If you'd like to buy a movie ticket, say one. Juan. Say yes. Say the movie you'd like to, or just have numbers quite like on the screen. The movie goes to, number 1 is A Quiet Place, number 2 is Fast, whatever. Say the number of the movie you want to buy. 2. Is this the movie you'd like to see? And then, it says it. Fast 9. We're all about family. Say yes. Yes. Just have it. This isn't difficult. I don't want to touch a screen that doesn't work. Now, if it works, that's way better. Bloop, 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 movie ticket. So there for 5 minutes. And then, so I'm picking I look at the seating area. I'm like, okay, good seating left. Next. Would you like to buy our membership card? No. That's more expensive than Netflix? No. and I still have to pay for movies? No. I get to the final thing where it shows like one adult, press one adult, then it shows the price, $23. Huh? $23. You maybe it's because it was a Saturday night. $23? Are you high right now? I laughed. I wish there was somebody there. I laughed out loud. There were people behind me. I laughed and I didn't hit back. I didn't hit like main menu. 23. Do you know I can pay 60 to 50, $70 and buy a video game and get hundreds of hours of entertainment out of that. You want me to spend $23 for a 2-hour movie? Quiet Place, Fast 9, whatever, Baby Boss, any of these movies? I can go right now and get Disney Plus for 30 days for free. Free trial. And cancel at the end of the month. It's not, you're losing. Hey, movie theaters, make money on the popcorn and the candy like you used to. Movie tickets should not be $15. I'm okay with 12, 10, 12 bucks. I'm okay for an hour's worth of entertainment for 2.5 hours, 2 hours, give or take. $23. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. That should be the first thing on the screen, not the last thing. I had to go through at least 7 or 8 different menu screens to get to $23. It should say warning, movie, $23 now, because it's Saturday at 10 o'clock. Maybe I haven't been to a movie, late on the weekends in a long time. $23. It just should have a big middle finger to you. And I could afford it. And it wouldn't make a difference. It's the principle of the thing. I was like, I'm going to buy a Quiet Place. And then I haven't decided if I want to go to see Fast and the Furious yet. Because I don't want my money to go to that John Cena communist lover. Oh, so sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Very sorry. I disagreed with your communist ways. You know the country that's a country? I called it a country, and I'm sorry. You know that place that's a country? Anyways. But yeah, $23. I just turned around and I wish there was somebody there I could have laughed at. I'm like, what did you just say? But then I might have been pressured into buying it. Say if it was an attractive girl. She's like, really? You can't afford $23? And then I would have to go into my whole spiel. Like $23? Are you kidding me? That's what I laughed at the second and last time I was ever at a strip club. And neither one were my ideas. Neither one. And I'm not like, oh, he's trying to be a good guy for the ladies. No, I'm trying to relate. It's like, oh, you're trying to be relatable to women and saying those kind of establishments are bad. First of all, I met a really nice girl there at the second one. First one, no. First one, there was one attractive woman. One. It was like, were they all fat? No, they were all like skinny, fit, but there were no attractive ones. There was one like thick. She looked like a former volleyball player. Just thick legs, big booty. Looked like an actual woman instead of some kind of stick figure. And me and Mike was, we went for a friend's, I want to say Josh, Mike's friend, bachelor party. So we go there and I'm like, dude, I almost ruined the whole thing. I'm young. I'm 21, 22, and I don't like those things. I'm like, I'm not paying for a woman's attention. I'm not gonna dare. Not gonna be able to dare. Can't do it. And it's like, oh, do you hold, women to high standards? No. Do you think they should be, respected and treated like princesses? No. I don't think men should have to work for money, right? And then give that money that they spent all week all month for, and then give it to women who dance for them for a few minutes. That's my problem. I don't understand. And how come I have to pay the same price as the ugly fat guys? I should get a in shape, semi-attractive discount. I'm not paying normal Uggo prices. I got a friend, Ray. Good friend, but he's fat. He's got boobs on him. He's got love handles that you can like really grab. I mean, I got some extra skin, normal skin, but if I in the right lighting, I look like I have like a 4-pack, maybe a 5. And I have to pay the same price as this bald fuck? No, 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 no. It's not the way the establishment should work. It's not the way. Okay? I get at least a 20 to 30% discount because it is the reason you're paying these women to give these men attention is because these men wouldn't have got that attention to begin with. That's where it starts. The guys who get all the attention from women aren't coming in to the strip club. It should be a privilege to dance for an attractive guy. If Chris Hemsworth walks in there, I'm not comparing myself to Chris Hemsworth, he walks in there, he's not paying for shit because he's attractive, or any other guy that looks like that. But I told there were 2 girls. One was hideous, and the other one was actually attractive. I would have paid whatever she wanted, but in my fantasy world, I would have done whatever she wanted. And the reason she was attractive is because she didn't dress like a stripper. She had like a sexy dress on. And I didn't even think, because when I sat down, she was sitting there and she was sitting next to a man and a woman. And so I thought all 3 of them showed up because she wasn't, all strippery. And then another stripper, a stripper, in like just like bra and panties come up and sits down next to me, and she starts talking to me. And I told her, I was like, look, I'm here for my brother. It was his, and this is a different time, not my brother, Mike. Mike is my brother, but my actual brother, blood related brother, Danny, we were in Vegas, and we're like, hey, what do you want to go do? And he said strip club. And this kid, the only girls he looks at is anime. So we were shocked. And we're like, okay. And he tried a beer, and he didn't feel, he tried like half a beer, and he's like, that's gross. I'm like, well, you drink Bud Light, you idiot. You have to, there are other good beers out there, like crisp, refreshing beers that taste good. Give you a little bit of a buzz, make you feel good. So we go there, and I tell the stripper, I was like, look, I didn't bring any money. Like, I brought cash. Like, I have money. Like, I didn't bring money for this. I have cash on me, but it's for poker. It's not for you guys. Like, I'm here. Like, I'll throw a few dollars on the stage, whatever. I'm not an asshole. I got the 2-drink minimum. I'll throw a little bit of money around, but I'm not gonna get anything. Cause like, oh no, just come back to this little booth area. So they bring you back, and the booth areas are still connected to still in the main area. You can still see everything. So Ray was with me. It was me, Ray, and Danny. Ray goes off into one booth with 2 girls. Danny goes off in the booth, and I can't see them. And I can't see my younger brother, who I'm protective over, so that bothers me. So I'm already uncomfortable. I'm not in a mood to sit down for 20, 30 minutes and enjoy myself with one ugly female and one extremely... Oh, yeah. So anyways, the hot blonde girl that was sitting next to me, I thought was with the 2 people next to me. I thought they were all together because they sit you down. So I sit down, and so I'm talking to the stripper to the right of me, and she's, selling it, and I'm like, no, I can't. She's like, come on. I'm like, okay. It was like, fine. I was like, but so I'm not paying for it. I'm not. She's like, oh, no problem. Blah 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 blah. And then the blonde girl grabs my arm from the left, and then they start walking me to the. I'm like, I didn't know you were a part of it. What kind of like incognito, undercover? I never seen an undercover stripper. They did it very well. If it was just that girl, and she's like, oh, and like a casual conversation, because the real aggressive girls, it just turns me off. It comes off as a guy like I remember when I was in high school and I really liked a girl, and you care too much, and it just turns the girl off, and you have no idea that you're like, what's wrong? I just want to care for you and like you and ha 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 ha. Biggest turnoff in the world. I'm not even going to get to the end of my original story, but it's besides the point. So we sit down, and I'm telling these girls, I was like, I'm not paying for anything. Like, I'll pay, like, I was like, I said, oh, I'll pay for a lap dance. It was like 20, 40, 30, 40 bucks. There's two of you, 20 bucks for one, 40 bucks for two. She's like, oh no, you want the private, the special, the booth treatment. I'm like, I was like, I thought we're in a booth. Where this is a booth. I don't understand. This is a booth. When I go to a restaurant and I say booth, please, this is exactly what I get. So it's like, oh no, there's a private room. I'm like, oh, there's private rooms. And so I'm like, so then I start thinking, well, if they don't want $40, so $40 isn't enough for them, 20 bucks each. I'm like, ladies, I do not want to, like, I was like, I know you're here to make money. I'm not the guy to get money out of. I was like, if you want, it's like my brother, maybe. He's a little bit more naive. He may get hooked. He's either going to get really hooked or he's going to be so turned off by this experience that he's just going to get up and leave. And that's what he ended up doing. And then later, and he left me and Ray there. And then what was funny is I thought Ray would spend all of his money. Ray was like, no, I'm not, no. So I was like, and I was curious about the finances. I'm like, how much money do these girls make? This is fascinating. And the attention from the blonde was nice. And then like having two people kind of rub up on, and they're talking in my ear, like getting real close. Oh, you smell good. And I'm just like, oh, I see the appeal here. But then the money part gets involved. I'm like, oh, that feels dirty. It just feels bad. So I find myself like, oh, this is cool. This is terrible. This is cool. This is terrible. That conflict. And then so they're asking to go back in the private room. And I'm like, well, how much is a private room? If a lap dance is 20, what is it, like $100 for two of you, like 50 bucks each? She's like, it's 300 for 3 songs for both of us. And I'm like, $300 for 3 songs? And I've been listening to the songs. It's not the full versions of the songs. This is like the MTV, minute versions of the song. Like it's like the 7 or 8, how like the top 10, and they play maybe 20 seconds of 10 through 5, and then the last top 5 they play the whole thing. It wasn't the Michael Jackson 9-minute long music video versions. It was the like the Red Hot Chili Peppers had fallen from number 1 down to number 10, and they just played the catchy chorus, and that's it. I remember when the top 10 got the videos were the reason you tuned in, besides the guest and what was the guy's name? Oh, what was the guy's name? TRL. Total Request Live. You can vote. I felt so cool when I voted. It's like the internet. Like I can interact with this show that's on TV, and you look for your little comments, and you're like, oh, did I get it? Did I get on there? And then for a week later, I'm like, oh, I'm never going to see my comments. There's hundreds of thousands of people on here. I'm never going to see it. Oh God. And I was like, oh, that's how they're getting people to watch and tune in. So it's not really, it's you want to watch, you're not getting people just for the music videos. You're getting these people who want to have their comments shown live on TV. I'm like, oh, that's what it's like. It's kind of dirty. When I realized it, it's not magic, because magic isn't dirty, but it's as if you thought magic was real. Say like pro wrestling. If like when the pro wrestlers said it was real, and then you find out it's fake, and you still see them, this is real, I'm gonna come Friday night. You're like, oh, that's kind of dirty. Because there's some people who think it's real. And he's like, hey, no, this is not, it's entertainment. Okay. Like we like give each other good, hits and slams and stuff, but it's not real. Because I got to work with this guy and the next night in Wichita, so I don't want to kill him. If I kill him, then who am I going to work with? But they told me it was 300 for 3 songs. So say they cut these songs down to a minute each. You want $300 for 3 minutes of work? I just spent the last week making three or two and a week and a half making $300. You want me to give that up to you in 3 minutes? Are you both? Is this going to be a threesome? Because that's the only way in my head that this is going to be worth it. And I get to do whatever I want to. But that's way more money. That's $12, $15, $2,000, $3,000 for that kind of experience. And it depends on the girl. Depends on the girl. The one girl deserved that kind of money. The one girl was nice. Other girl, she wouldn't even be the best looking girl in Walmart if she walked into that place in that outfit. You definitely don't deserve any money from me. So I'm like, ladies, and then the blonde one was smart because she realized after 5 or 10 minutes I'm not. So she got up first, and the other one was just working so hard to get money out of it. She's like, oh, I do. Well, we just gave you a whole bunch of it. I was like, I told you. I was like, I'm gonna feel bad. I told her, I'm gonna feel bad not giving you any money. So I was like, here's $20 for your time, for your effort. It was not. It was an experience. I'll say that. I was like, you guys tried. It's like, how about 40 for 20 for each of us? I was like, you can find the 10. And I told her this. You can find, I was like, here's 20. I'm not giving you more money because I don't have change. Hey, person who gets all sorts of denominations thrown at them, you make change. I was like, here's 20. Go give her a 10. Because the blonde left already. She was into making money. She realized, I was like, look, you're not gonna get, she was like the soft, stronger type. I'm sitting there like that. See, you don't. And the girl was like, like shit, like we were friends or what. I'm like, I'm not. Just acting all out, just begging for money. I'm like, here's $20. Okay, I work hard for my money. I have to sit in at the time. I think I worked at the bank or Game Crazy. I forget where I worked. I was like, I have to work for this. I have to stand on my feet and sell video games. Of course, at the time, that video game place was awesome. Game Crazy, great place to work for 1 or 2 years. And then they started making real money. Then they started pushing all these memberships, and if you get a console, you have to sell things with it. The attach rate has to be this and that because that gives our numbers and this and this. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I realized that they get a cut. They get a certain percentage of like the total transaction. So they want to make each transaction the most. And I'm like, no, that's not how you make money. I mean, that is how you make money, but that's not how you make money off video gamers. You make money off these people because like the return investment. You want to make the place fun. And like we would, the employees, we would play video games in front of them and like good ones and fun ones. And we would sell video games that way. So imagine if you're a kid, right? And you walk in to, a video game store and there's, 2 employees playing the video games. And then there's like 5 or 6 people around them watching them play, the NBA games or Madden, or you would see like a group of people watching someone play Zelda or in the corner watching, and that's how you get introduced. You're like, what's the commotion over there? And you look and everyone's bigger than you and they let you like walk up to the front and watch this guy play video games. And then you're like, oh, and then so like if the kid wants to try it out or play, then you let like if the kid says something, you let them play. You're like, oh, here, you try it or whatever. And then you get people going. So you would go to each station. We'd have a 360 station, and a Wii station, all these different things. You'd have Wii Golf on there, and they'd play Wii Golf, and like the little extra, the Motion Plus attachment made the game feel actually like golf, or not but closer to golf than just normal Wii Golf. But you'd make all these little micro moves, and it would like register. Oh, that part was really cool. You'd have Guitar. That's why Guitar Hero was so cool. And then they told us to not play video games anymore on the clock. And that's when everything started to crumble. Because like, you idiots, you have to make it an experience. You have to. Otherwise, no one's going to want. People would come in there to hang out, and then they started saying we don't want people hanging out in our place. Like, no, you have to make it a safe space for people, a cool place to come hang out. Because then they're like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, then if they if they go to Walmart, or if they go, and this is just a normal store, people are going to go to the other big stores. You morons. And these are people, these managers that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars are making these decisions. That how you stay afloat is you have to get a committed fan base to be your foundation. And then they tell everybody else about your store. That's how you build stuff up. And if you have dozens and dozens of people who come in and out periodically, this one kid hangs in and out on Monday. This guy has a trouble, this kid has a, troubled family home. So he walks to GameStop and hangs out for a few hours. Guess where he's going to go when he gets gifts or money from relatives? He's going to go to Game Crazy. Not the Walmart down the street. But guess if you kick him out, if you tell him, hey, you can't hang out around here anymore unless you're going to buy stuff, guess where he's going to go? To Walmart, because they're going to be able to lower the prices a little bit. He's not going to go to the video game store where his friends are. He's going to go to Walmart. And I'm talking like Joe Biden right now. It was so weird when he whispered, we gave them $100 trillion. They're doing fine. Why are you whispering? Did somebody say you were being loud? I don't understand. But yeah, I couldn't believe those strippers wanted $300 out of me. It was unbelievable. I was like, I'll find some hot, attractive girl at the gym and say, hey, I'll $300 for one night. And they'll be like, oh, cool. I have $100,000 in student loan debt. This will take a chunk out. Are you promoting? I wonder when prostitution will be legal. Then things are going to get real crazy. Women are not going to be able to keep a man. Do you think it's difficult now? That's why I always thought women should be very, very nice and kind and cautious around men. And they should, for their own survival. Because now men can become women and they've always been women. So the fact that you're a woman doesn't mean anything anymore. So there's no such thing as women's rights or men's rights. There's just human rights, which is a really funny concept because women are all behind transgender movement, and then they're like, oh, well, we're going to come into your sport and take all the gold medals away. Like, well, if you say anything, you're a bigot. If you say anything, you're a bigot. I don't want to be a bigot, so I guess you can have my gold medal. So if and that's the argument that I never understood. If gender doesn't matter, if there's no such thing as gender, then women don't exist and men don't exist. So in that case, your sexuality doesn't matter, because if you're straight and if you're a man and that's what straight is. If you're a man, you're like a woman. And if you're a woman, you're like a man. If you're straight, but if there are no genders, then what are you? You're nothing. It's all chaos and craziness. So if someone's like, oh, I'm a lesbian, the LGBTQ, there should not be an L, there should not be a Q, there should not be a T, there's nothing. So if men and women, if gender is a social construct, then none of it matters. There are no lesbians, there are no gay people. It's fascinating. But I think they want to confuse. I honestly think they want to confuse people. Very, very interesting. But what was I was talking about? I can't remember. The movie, In and Out the movie, I laughed at. So, then I watched, what was the last one I watched? There's some show on Amazon called Bosch. He's some cop show. It's like a kind of a gritty TV series. It's got like 10 seasons. It's got this black bald actor. Love this guy. He's got a really, really cool voice. And I thought the whole show was about him, and I clicked on it, and then it's a white cop. And I kind of recognize the white actor, but I no idea anything that he's from. Probably a lifelong actor, and I am dumb and don't recognize him. But I like him. So I started watching that show. 4 episodes into that. It's like Bosch, Bosch. And then, what was it? Yeah, so Honey Boy was good. Go watch that. Tomorrow War, good, fun movie. Encounter, don't ever in your life go watch that. I think that was it. But yeah, I had a whole bunch of news articles I was going to talk about, but I talked about strippers for 30, 45 minutes. So that was nice. But yeah, so that's been another episode of the Chase Carter Concept Podcast. I appreciate anyone for listening. If you did listen this whole time, you need to question your life choices. I'll talk to you guys next week.